Dan, you recently went to Paris, of all places, to play The Surge. Is that correct?
That is indeed correct, Adam.
Right. So The Surge. It isn't the reason you're talking to me, but it looks. Well, it's by Deck 13, and it's the game that they made, Lords of the Fallen, and I like that kind of game. I don't want to say the type of game it is. It's an action RPG, we'll call it.
We'll call it a bollocks
like?
hard RPG. Adam Cook, that's what we'll call it.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Why is it bollocks hard?
Well, you know me, Adam, I'm shit at games, so I probably wasn't the best person to preview this, but I was sent, so you've just got to roll with the punches. So basically, let's talk about The Surge.
Before people get arsey over that, it was a big showcase, basically.
Oh, yeah.
The publisher, Focus Home, showed off a lot of games. This is one of them. We're talking about it because it looks interesting, I think.
It does, and thankfully, on this one, I was actually able to get at least some progress done. I was able to kill some of the enemies. I feel like I never played Lords of the Fallen, but I feel like Deck 13's games are slightly easier than other games that I've played in said style. But it still kicked my ass whenever I got fatter. I mean, I didn't make it to it. I don't know if there was a boss in the build I was playing.
Right.
But I didn't make it to any one anyway. I didn't get to a cutscene or anything like that. But
oh, really?
It was the start of the game, the very start, and it's a cool premise, and I kind of like how. So, The Surge, as I said, by Deck 13, it's one of these hard as fuck games, but instead of it being in a fantasy setting, or a medieval setting, or a gothic setting, or whatever, instead of it being in the past...
Which they kind of always are.
They are, yeah. And I think that's because the imagination have weird and fantastical beasts, and that's probably why.
Yeah, no, that's fair comment, yeah.
And in this case, in The Surge, it is in the future. We are in a post-apocalyptic place, so it's not been monsters or anything that has destroyed the world, it's just global warming, and the world just got fucked, basically, and there's loads of big robots and shit. Okay. And basically, in this society, there is one company, which name escapes me, which is still alive. It's trying to shoot fucking chemicals into the air to fix the atmosphere. Okay. It's making machines and stuff, and whilst it's in the apocalypse and this one company is trying to save the world, the company also has a big fuck up as well, so kind of a double apocalypse, if you will. And
okay, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, it's proper catastrophic. And then your character, who I'm not exactly sure I don't know if he's got a name, but basically he wakes up, he's getting something done to him which makes him like kind of a robot, and while that is happening, I didn't get to see a cutscene.
No.
It exploded while he was in it, and now he's half robot, and you can connect things to him and different weapons and stuff. So you wake up in this dusty place, you twat some drones, then you find a kind of a station, you get some power to power it, and then you can upgrade your suit. And what it is, so you are human, but you kind of have like suits, kind of like an exoskeleton on you. And then from the exoskeleton, you can connect different pieces of armour to different parts of your body, and then you use melee weapons. Pretty standard. But the places where The Surge kind of differs, apart from the environment and the setting, is first of all the combat. Whereas in most of these action games, including Lords of the Fallen, the two buttons are heavy attack and light attack. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
In this, it is horizontal and vertical strikes. So you can then, instead of every attack being, instead of different attacks between how hard you hit, in this it's if you hit across the body or up and down, and that led to some quite interesting combos. I found it was quite cool, kind of twatting something on the side and then coming down with a hammer blow on its head, type thing. It's quite a different take, and to me it makes the combat kind of, every strike kind of feels exactly the same with its heavy, obviously because there's no light attacks, if that makes sense. So it kind of feels similar, kind of a bit samey in some respects, but it's cool that they're changing it up, and I do like how it can lead to some cool combos with how you combine the strikes. And another way it's different, you can target, so you get into a combat scenario, there's a there's a geezer who also has various bits connected to him, different bits of armor. He's human, but he's gone mad, I think. So there's no like monsters and stuff, it's just all robots and weird humans. Like kind of Mad Maxy. And basically, as you're aiming, you can move the right stick as you're like locked onto an opponent, and you can target different parts of his body. Now, this leads to interesting scenarios because you can either target the light pieces, the unarmored pieces of the body, so you can aim for a head without a helmet or an arm without
This sounds
armor.
like Metal Gear Rising Revengeance.
Well, I would never have played, so I'm going to have to explain more. You're going to have to see it the same. But if you kill them if you kill them while aiming at these unprotected areas, then they'll be easy to kill because you're killing them quickly, and there's no armor there. But if you're fighting an enemy who has a nifty piece of right arm armor, and you want to nick it, you're going to have to attack that specific heavily armored area to get it. And at the end, if you work up enough, it was basically a blue bar. If you work up enough of this blue bar, by the time the enemy is on lower health, you can then hold the cross button till it goes full, and then you'll get a little cutscene of your character cutting off said limb, which the cutscenes can be really cool. My favourite one was when you did like a straight kick into a geezer's midriff, and then as he was on his knees, you follow through and just smash the head off the shoulders. That was really cool, but the cutscene does kind of take you out of it a little bit. It's kind of a little...
Right.
Remember I always complained about Deus Ex, how whenever you do a stealth kill, it goes into a little cutscene. It's not as bad as that. I think that's fucking... I don't get how people don't like that. How people actually like that. But in this, it's still a little bit of a cutscene that kind of drags you out of the momentum of the combat. And it's cool and it's different, but I don't know...
So does that... It's not an execution,
It kind of is an execution per se. That's probably what it is, yeah. It's like a little cutscene of you killing them after you've worked down a specific area. I don't know how fans of these type of combat games are going to respond to that.
Well, I mean that's kind of what Neo does, but if you stun them by removing enough of their stamina, the reticule around them will turn red, meaning you can go up, press a button, and you'll do like an execution style move.
Okay, this is more related to their health. So it's just when your health's low, you can then kill them.
Okay.
And it's literally, I think it was literally with any. Once I unlocked this skill in the tutorial, I could do it pretty much with any one I was killing. It wasn't exactly a hard thing to get.
So are these the two elements you've mentioned? Do you think they? Because I don't want to sound down on it because I haven't played it, but it seems a lot of people are doing this style of game. I mean, look, I'm going to say it, and people can hate me if they want, but Deck 13 Interactive themselves describe this game as inspired by Dark Souls.
Oh, it's literally Dark Souls. It's so weird.
I mean,
if you
die, Lord of the Fallen was.
If you die, you got to go back and get your scrap. It was, I believe, it's the same in Lords of the Fallen.
Scrap.
It's the same in this, apart from it's scrap. Scrap can be used to get upgrades on your armor from like a shop and different weapons and sort of stuff. I mean, it's fine.
I like those games, so I will definitely play this. And I'm looking at the video, it looks pretty cool looking. Like it looks like a game that will benefit running on a PC, high end, get that frame rate up, and it will look really stylish. But do you think, again, in a preview sense, is this fair even to ask? But I'm going to. Do you think those elements do enough to make it stand out? Because to make a similar comparison, like you've got the Souls games and everyone loves them, well, people who love them. You've got Neo, which kind of brings the Team Ninja vibe in, and maybe even channels a bit of Onimusha, which is certainly, when I first saw it, I thought, Onimusha, well, we're long overdue, obviously different teams, but that kind of the samurai edge to that game makes it stand out, I think. Do you think the change of setting and these elements make it stand out, or do you just walk away going, that's a Souls game?
I think the problem is for me in describing this is that I've only ever played about up to what the first boss battle in Bloodborne of these games. I fucking hate them. They're too hard for me. Can't do it. So it's hard for me to give a thing. I am.
No, you're putting on your impartial hat.
And we
here,
definitely
to go and look.
We've definitely learned over the last week that Bloodborne or Souls fans can be fucking nutters. So God knows what they think.
So some of them, there are two
definitely
very distinct categories of Souls fans. There's a toxic community and there's the nice community. I
think there's the change of scenery definitely helps it because it's completely. We've not seen a game of this style, very hard combat, for at least for me, at least in modern times, I'd say, since Dark Souls. That isn't in a fantasy setting, is in a most apocalyptic setting, and it is cool. I
certainly can't think of
one.
No,
neither can I. And I think the changes. I think to me, it's like a Souls game. So people who like Souls games want that type of game just to play, will get satisfaction from it. But I don't think anyone who doesn't like them, I don't think that's going to get them into it at all. If you get me, because You know what I mean? And then you get the people who like Souls that much that they can't do anything else. So it is a really weird bracket where it's appealing to people who like Souls games but don't like it that much that they can't play anything else. They're in a really weird position. But I think the change setting and making the combat a little more, with the animations of the executions, just kind of a little more satisfying. I think I know obviously Bloodborne and all that is definitely satisfying, but I think
I know what you mean.
Know what I mean. You get like a finale to every kill type thing.
It's appealing to people that aren't counting frames. It's appealing to people who kind of just want to do cool shit and have it look cool on the screen.
Like this is still hard. I managed to kill a few people.
Yeah.
And there's still. It's still like items for health. It's still collect your stuff after you die and all that.
I mean, in fairness, these games have a feel to them that if you're not into them, playing them at a press event is not the easiest thing. Especially as we, and again, very clearly, you weren't there to see the surge.
No.
It was one of the game's focus was showing off. I will have a look at it. Hopefully we'll get a preview build of it at some point where someone like myself or Chris on the team who are into those games will have a second look. This is just a very early preliminary look at the Surge. If you have any questions because you're big time into the series like myself, not into the series, the Surge, into the genre I should say, you can follow Dan at Mabroski on Twitter, which you'll have seen at the beginning of the video, so just quickly rewind. I'm at GWSF and of course at God is a Geek, and you can fire questions at Dan and I'm sure he'll answer them to the best of his abilities. Otherwise, Dan, people should go to patreon.com/GodIsAGeek because for $1 a month, which is less than £1, $1 is less than £1 at the moment.
Shit, $1 a month, a day.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. But if you can afford that, you'll get access to early videos, exclusive videos, preview and written content, that goes up either. You'll get it early, but also some of it doesn't appear on the site just for patrons. Dan, thank you for your time.
No worries.
And we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.
See ya.